fashion. Azinord says prepare to be entertained either way. He's coming out of the blue corner. Angel Collazo in the red. Purple Rain versus the Water Boy. This is a kickboxing rule set, not Muay Thai, so we will not be seeing them work in the clinch. They'll get split if they do tie up. Isaiah Cabal, the third man in the cage. Touch of the gloves and we're off.
Purple Rain has given us a very Thai structure and stance. He's going to want to clinch, and I think it's going to be a problem for him. But on the outside, his kicks are still looking ferocious. Collazo, all the same, chopping back 1 for 1. These guys are happy to take turns trading blows.
He threw a lightning quick jab after that high kick.
These guys are quite quick.
Yeah, we've seen both of these gentlemen that combated gone before.
Nice combo from Azinord.
And very active. I know Angel Collazo just about 2 weeks ago or so, he was fighting up in New York.
Really? Yeah, he took a strap home a couple weeks ago in New York.
That's awesome. Landing really good with that right hand on Azinord. Azinord ties it up and gets his break.
Yeah, now even though Azinord is a Muay Thai style fighter, you see him with the armbands on, this bout is a kickboxing bout, hence why Isaiah Cabal broke them up. No clinching allowed for this one.
You can see with the guys who are kickboxers, they keep their hands like boxers. When we look at kickboxing classically, American style and like Euro K1 style, it is a boxing heavy way of fighting. They keep it tight, a little more square, a little more power punching, where the Thai style is a little more bladed and a lot more leg use. Great catch and return by Azinord.
Yeah, if this was Muay Thai, we would have been able to sweep him.
There's nothing I like more than sweeping a guy. That and ground and pound.
Last 10 seconds here in the first round. Both of these guys are pretty solid.
Really good shots on both parts. A super even first round.
Yeah, I don't know who both the gentlemen, were active. Both gentlemen caught each other's kicks.
Super even round. I got to give it to Collazo just based on crispy combination work. He would land in sets of 2, 3, 4, where Purple Rain was landing single kicks, maybe a double here and there.
I think Azinord landed some significant kicks to the body of Collazo.
He did. He landed some big shots, but he's only landing a single. And now if Collazo had showed damage, gritted, grabbed his ribs, that's one thing. But he didn't, so it's just a landed strike. Now we're after or before those singular big kicks, Collazo was landing, a 3-punch combination and possibly a kick of his own.
Second round coming up.
Big shot by Mr. Purple Rain. Kick to Superman, Liam Harrison playbook.
They were brawling there for a minute in the pocket.
Yeah, every time Tim Azinord lands that kick, Angel's right there in his face with a combination of his own.
Collazo's doing a really smart job of making Tim look like he's trying to skirt the rules, punching in really, really tight, keeping it short, knowing Azinord's going to grab on just out of habit, and then forcing him to punch out or get talked to by the ref for over clinching.
So we typically see kickboxers with a lot more bouts than MMA fighters. What's that trajectory like in terms of transitioning?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. Kickboxing is definitely an older sport. I just believe there, at least at one point in time, was more of an opportunity to participate than for MMA and such.
On the amateur level, or
yeah, definitely on an amateur level. But what's weird is a handful of years ago, maybe the early 2000s, when amateur MMA got legalized, the amateur kickboxing scene disappeared. and is now probably in the last, 2 or 3 years, making a really strong comeback. And rightfully so. The talent we're seeing in our kickboxing scene right now is fabulous.
I'm always perplexed by how there's not like a big national
There really
kickboxing
should be.
league that's televised here.
It also could be coastal. Like, I remember the IMMAF, it's the biggest amateur mixed martial arts organization in the world. They run shows in California, even from like a small start. Big left hand by Collazo.
Another.
2 in a row, knocking Tim's head right back.
Yeah,
Good
that's
round for
southpaw
Collazo.
But in California, IMMAF runs tournaments similar to Florida PKB, just for MMA. And those are the ones where you see the guys going to Bahrain to compete at a world level. And the amateurs that you see at the IMMAF, especially in the finals, honestly, by like local standards, would have been pros 30 fights ago. You know, especially in like the Eastern Bloc, they treat it just like amateur boxing, where these guys are having 100 or 200 amateur fights before going pro. Personally, I think that's why we see such a strong group of fighters that are coming from like Dagestan, Chechnya, Russia, etc.
And I couldn't put a percentage on it, but I would say that the stand-up element is what people find the most entertaining in MMA.
Yeah, definitely.
Yet there's not like necessarily the crossover support for kickboxing.
It doesn't make sense.
People want to see knockouts.
Like, I understand not watching PKA, because that was just like guys who couldn't cut it as boxers who learned how to kick a little bit. But like Japanese K1 scene, the American K1 scene, Glory as a whole right now, fabulous, man. Bellator kickboxing was really good when it was alive.
I know One Championship also puts on some. I'm not sure what he was thinking he was going to do by closing that distance.
That got called as a knockdown, as it was off a shot. Though it could have been a stumble on a push, but it wasn't an engagement, and it did look like a knockdown.
Yeah, that could cost him the round.
It already has. He would have to get a knockdown on Tim to even the table. Even if he wins. Oh, he took another big shot. That knockdown gave Tim a lot of confidence there, and he is letting his hands fly.
Yeah, he's charging forward now, like he has in these first 2 rounds. Angel now starting to back up.
Yes, sir. He did a good job of like hiding the hurtness, but you can see it now.
He's tagged right now.
He is getting tagged a lot.
Before, when Tim Azinord in those first 2 rounds was initiating the clinch, Angel now is the one that's grasping for it after he takes a few of those punches by Tim Azinord.
Big shots getting inside on Angel Collazo.
Best round thus far for Azinord.
Tim
These
is
1-2s are landing.
firing big. Collazo looks pretty good, but he's been like allowing Tim to like tee off on him.
Yeah, he needs to circle around instead of just backing up, especially in this small Combatagon cage that we're using here tonight.
Angles,
3 steps back.
Angles
That's
are
it.
everything.
Andrew just can't rest on the cage there. He's got less than 30 seconds left.
You can't put your back on the fence. It just allows your opponent to treat you like a punching bag.
Short time.
Collazo's corner calling for the liver shot. They want to slow Tim down if they can't drop him. With 10 seconds left in the round, this is looking like a 10-8 for Tim.
Yeah, and if Andrew Collazo won those first 2 rounds, you know, if the math is correct, this might be a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a 10-8. There was a knockdown. The rules in kickboxing are strict.
Your judges have reached a unanimous decision for your winner. Out of the blue corner, Timothy Purple Rain Azinord.
Congrats to Timothy Azinord getting it done.